Good afternoon. It is Monday, October 16th, 2017. Deshaun Blair speaking. Here's what's happening. Well, the obvious happened. Losing to the New England Patriots, hurts enough. We hate them. They're our biggest rivals. But, obviously we've learned to accept that fact that, as long as Brady and Belichick are running the New England Patriots, we're going to be kissing their feet. Okay? But yesterday losing to that team really took the cake. I mean, first of all, I'm not going to count out the mistakes the Jets made. The Jets took off to a fast start, 14-0, and had forced a turnover at that point, and, it seemed like everything was going right for the Jets for the first 21 minutes of this game. The difference maker, a couple of big difference makers that happened that got the Pats right in this game, because the Jets theoretically should have been blowing the doors off the Pats. But of course, when you're playing the New England Patriots, no lead is ever safe in the first place. But yeah, that one play where Buster Screen, when the Jets up 14-0, dropped an interception. Not saying it would have been a pick six, but it would have had the Jets into Patriot territory. That was huge. You had, let's see. Oh, and another critical play. I sound like I'm crying. The officiating yesterday on both sides was pretty darn brutal. The Jets got the brunt of these terrible penalties, and then they were the ones the Jets had very critical penalties. The first one came against Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams took that penalty, pass interference on Gronk. First of all, outside of that, Gronkowski took Jamal Adams to school yesterday, but, got a big-sized guy like Gronkowski, but Jamal Adams gets called for a pass interference on Gronkowski. You've got, Gronkowski, they're going up for the ball, and it's like, you're really gonna call pass interference on that? That was bogus. It's like hand fighting, everything. It's like, the NFL has not, it just doesn't allow defense anymore, it seems. So that put the Pats on the 1 yard line, easy punching, 14-7. Here's another gimme. Late in the first half, so the Jets have had, they forced a fumble and they've had an interception, which was by Screen to that point. Josh McCown throws an interception. Malcolm Butler steps in front of it. I understand the Jets are maybe trying to do something before halftime, and I give Bowles credit for it. He did it last week against Cleveland. This time it didn't work. And you're really going to throw towards Malcolm Butler. He's like the best player in that secondary, despite having the worst defense in all of football. Butler intercepts. Brady lofts a long pass to Brandon Cooks on the 1 yard line. A couple plays later, Gronkowski, gets the spike one. And then the third quarter, New England just came down the field in the third quarter, opening drive, and just took off. Gronkowski, catch and run play. What was it, from 30 some odd yards? Catch and run. Caught Jet player dove and missed. Took off with a size touchdown. So any momentum the Jets had, they lost. 21-14 New England. They had the lead to stay. So for all the taking off that the Jets had, and all the trust that you've had in the defense as of late, and all the, and everything else, it all went to waste. The Jets took off in this game. McCown, opening drive, going 4-for-4 on third down, and took off. You're like, what in the world? And then you had Curley making that play over Malcolm Butler for the touchdown. And you've got a couple of wide receivers who have caught every pass, in Jeremy Curley and Jermaine Kearse. So even with an aging quarterback, you know what? The Jets have been, but going back to yesterday though, the Jets had their chance to shine, taking first place in the AFC East. Yesterday was their time to shine. They blew it, And of course, the play that everyone's going to be talking about, the fumble. The the fumble that ended up in a touchback by Austin Seferian-Jenkins, who, outside of that bogus play, had a big game yesterday, including the opening touchdown of the game. Now, I mean, you're looking at it's like Austin Seferian-Jenkins, Jets 4-yard line, makes the catch of the ball. He knocks on the door. It's the 4-yard line. He's plowing behind, and all of a sudden, you're thinking he's in the end zone. Great. All right, the Jets are going to be down by, a field goal. Thinking, all right. Of course, every score goes to review. Okay, I understand that. But, and then they came back, they're showing a couple of replays before they go to, and it goes to commercial. And then you come back and you hear the words, "It is the touchback in New England football." It's like, what? Now, did the ball come out loose of ASJ's hands? Yes, it did. Briefly. It never hit the floor. Like a player can fumble the ball and end up without hitting the ground into the other team's hand. It didn't do. So what happened was, it was at the goal line, they said he fumbled and came up out of bounds. By the time he landed out of bounds, possession was still not fully in his hands. I saw something different. I saw the time he regained full possession to his body, it looked like he had the ball, And a lot of the football world today, is crying, they cried foul. And even Scott Zolak, the Patriots, radio commentator even said, that's a disgrace. In essence, that's a disgrace, and that the NFL basically has a lot of issues to fix. And it's true. It's like, the challenge system was brought after, surely enough, the Tuck rule. But it does seem like the Patriots just get away with everything. Everything goes that team's way. Of course, it's Tom Brady. Now, at the control center in New York, in the city, they're the ones, if the refs can't make the decision, it goes to them. And, it's clear as day, the predecessors to the guy who's doing this now, everyone's saying, whoever that guy's name is, Al, whatever the heck his name is, got it wrong. They got it wrong. And even if they did, can you really find any conclusive evidence to overturn that call? Jeez. There was nothing, nobody, stadium, TV, you name it, saw anything that could, even a lot of Patriot fans thought it was the wrong call. And that's saying a lot. You could sit there and you're New England, you're a fan saying, yeah, we'll take the win, but it was the wrong call. It was the wrong call. Like I said, that wrong call doesn't nullify the fact that the Jets had a chance to beat this New England team yesterday, and realistically probably should have. If they played the game that they played for the first quarter and a half of the game, they would have beaten New England. Now, granted, New England never goes away. That's the truth about them. But goodness gracious, that was their time to make a statement win, and they couldn't do it. That was their chance. They blew it. So, much as I'm not going to give credit to my opponent because I hate their guts so much, you know what? The Jets blew it. New England just did what they had to do. That was the Jets' game to win yesterday. And my only thing is this now. Every time the Jets seem to play New England in week 5, week 6, week 7, whatever, basically October, when they're up and right in this, they fall apart. Now granted, after next week in Miami, the schedule gets increasingly difficult. They've got, after Miami, you got Atlanta at home, Atlanta, they got the Bills on a Thursday night, they've got Tampa on the road, then it's bye week to Carolina, at the just after Thanksgiving. So so you cannot possibly, I said by the time they get into the thick of things in November, I was hoping the Jets could beat 5-3. The New England Patriots, God knows, they're a beatable team. We all know it. Yesterday the Jets could not get the run game going against the 32nd team. The 32nd, terminology in complete sentences here. The worst defense in all of football. We're supposed to pride ourselves on the running game. Now Forte, we didn't have Bilal Powell yesterday, which, but Forte catching on checkdowns was, pretty efficient yesterday. But when it came to it, there was one series where they get 7-8 yards on first down, couldn't convert, end up having to give the ball away on fourth down. Instead of kicking a 52-yard field goal, which I understand against the Patriots, you want to take the points as much as possible. The 4th and 1, the tight end, Tomlinson's wide open, and McCown, throws it wide. Devin McCourty picks it off. It's like, so the Jets had every opportunity yesterday to win, and they didn't. They blew it. And as for that missed call, no offense to Todd Bowles, because I know that this young core of guys are playing their hearts out for this guy. Todd Bowles, you need to start showing some emotion with these missed calls, man. You need to start showing some emotion with your team. Now, obviously we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but it's time to start showing some emotion. Be like, any other coach, most coaches have been like, "Are you bleeping kidding me?" Safarian Jenkins looked like he wanted to, but they held him back because God knows if he bumped an official, this would have been an even worse trouble. But seriously, they the Jets took the high road, probably because they probably felt like they had to, because if they didn't, who knows? But the referee blew the official. Well, not so much the officials, but again, the officiating was bad yesterday. A helmet. You get, McCourty clearly nails with his helmet Robbie Anderson in the face mask. They call the flag, and then they call it back saying no, head to chest. It's clear he got him in the face mask. They picked up the flag. So, there goes 15 yards. Again, the pass interference on Adams, which is very, brutal call. And then what happened with the touchdown? It's like, come on, can you give the Patriots any more of this football game? Could you? It was sickening, at least in that aspect. But again, despite all of it, that was the Jets' game to win yesterday. No business, taken off with a 14-0 lead to crap out like that, give up 24 unanswered, and to fall short. So, for what that's worth, man, it's just another way of kissing the feet of the New England Patriots. That's all it is. And they're not that good of a football team. I'm sorry to say it, they're not that good. These aren't your father's Patriots. It's the New England Patriots. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is still there, and but a lot of people are saying, how much did Robert Kraft really pay off these officials? To say give the Patriots the benefit of these calls that should not have gone their way. So that being said, it hurts. It hurts. And again, I just hoping that things don't go mentally south because we lost to this team again. I really hope it doesn't. Because, being that the Jets are 3-3, you know what? They've really surprised a lot of people being where they're at right now. It would have been nice. Beating the Patriots yesterday would have been a statement win. And 4-2 going into Miami next week. But couldn't happen, right? So that being said, all right, Jets, you got Miami next week. I somehow have to avoid my manager. She's a big Dolphin fan, and she often checks on updates through her phone. I got to. If I'm working on Sunday, I have to somehow evade her. And I think she indirectly gave away the result of what happened. But that being said, before I run out of space on this phone, this is just a game that, despite all of it, the Jets had no business losing the game yesterday. They didn't. Referees or not, it's a game they had to win. So anyway, that being said, Deshaun Blader speaking. Deuces for now. Okay, you can't see me on my. Oh, there's my fingers. Okay, deuces for now.